It's getting to be a bad week for Manhattan District Attorney Cyrus Vance Jr. Now, only a couple of days after news broke that the Trump kids had avoided felony charges for lying to prospective condo buyers for the Soho real estate project, there's a news story out there that is connected to a recent sexual assault allegations against Harvey Weinstein. And guess what? It also includes District Attorney Cyrus Vance Jr. Now, this is according to a piece in the International Business Times by David Sirota. Now, he points out that Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein's lawyer had actually delivered $10,000 to this Manhattan District Attorney, Cyrus Vance Jr., back in 2015. Now, that's just months after Vance's office decided not to prosecute Weinstein over previous sexual assault allegations. This is according to an International Business Times review of campaign finance documents. Now, that case has nothing to do with the new allegations from the New York Times against Harvey Weinstein. Now, that contribution of $10,000 came from attorney David Boies. Now, Boies had also previously headlined a fundraiser for Vance. Now, that contribution was just a fraction of the more than $182,000 that Boies, his son, and his law partners have delivered to the Democrat during his political career. Now, Boies has done legal work for Weinstein since at least 2005, and his website at his law firm says his clients include the Weinstein Company. So there's a definite connection here. Now, so not only was Boies a big fan of Cyrus Vance Jr., but it also worked for the Weinstein Company. Interesting. Now, it is noted that David Boies did not represent Harvey Weinstein back in 2015 during that criminal investigation. That is, of course, from the Vance Communications Director. However, you also have other statements from, I should say, in addition to, there are other statements from people connected to Boies who said that David Boies has been a supporter of the district attorney since long before 2015, including before he was first elected, and has never spoken to him about Harvey Weinstein. So basically they're saying, well, look, there's no connection. This is just a coincidence, right? Oh, no, he was a supporter way back when and would give money all the time. And it has nothing to do with, Harvey Weinstein getting off on previous sexual assault charges, or the Trump kids getting off on possible fraud charges, felony charges. But that's a different case. That seems a little convenient to me, those excuses. I mean, look, he drops an investigation and then gets paid off afterwards. That's weird. And gets lots and lots of money, and it turns out he doesn't prosecute any of them. In fact, in this case, I should say in the last case with the Trump kids, he went over his prosecutors to drop the case. In fact, Sirota writes, the revelations about the drop Weinstein investigation come in the heels of a recent report documenting how Vance declined to prosecute Ivanka and Donald Trump Jr. That's after Trump's attorney, Mark Kasowitz, gave Vance's campaign $25,000. Now, this is according to a ProPublica investigation. Now, Kasowitz made the donation, $25,000, then met with Vance directly, and then magically Vance dropped the case, overruling his own prosecutors. Now, we have details of that meeting, where basically Kasowitz went in and made the exact same arguments that Trump's lawyers were making before in the case. No new information. All there is, the only defining factor that I could see is that gigantic donation to his political coffers. Now, of course, the campaign did end up returning that $25,000 donation. That is after they got called out. However, Kasowitz subsequently made an even larger donation to Vance after the district attorney decided not to prosecute the Trumps. So again, we've seen this. He decides, oh, you know what, I'm going to drop the case. And then he gets a giant pile of money. Weird. Super weird. Now, for Weinstein's case, the New York Times on Thursday had published a report detailing how multiple women have alleged Weinstein was engaged in sexual harassment and unwanted physical contact. Variety reported that Weinstein has retained star litigator David Boies as well as attorneys Lisa Bloom and Charles Harder, in an effort to rebut the claims. Weinstein had issued an apology for doing something, sexual harassment and unwanted physical contact. However, Bloom told The Times that the movie producer denies many of the accusations as patently false, despite apologizing for them. That's weird. Among the allegations that the newspaper recounted was one in 2015, in which Italian model Abra Battallana accused Weinstein of groping her. Battallana contacted law enforcement officials, but in April of 2015, Vance's office decided not to bring charges against Weinstein, saying that after analyzing the available evidence, including multiple interviews with both parties, a criminal charge is not supported. Soon after, Boies made a big donation to Vance. According to campaign finance records, Boies gave the district attorney campaign $10,000 in August 24th, and in all, Boies has given $55,000 to Vance's campaigns since he first began running for office in 2008. And not only that, but he had co-chaired a 2008 fundraiser for Vance. And since Vance began running for district attorney, Boies' son, Christopher, has also given Vance's campaign $35,000. Boies' law firm partners who gave to Vance included Jonathan Schiller, who gave $26,000, Nicholas Gervonta, $4,000, and the late Robert Silver, who gave $62,785 in campaign contributions. So they gave a lot of money, and it turns out that the people who give the money end up getting a little bit of a break. Interesting. Now, what may be the biggest irony about the Weinstein case is that City and State noted that Vance won office after campaigning on promises to pursue crimes directed at women and seek longer penalties for perpetrators of intimate partner violence. Now, if Weinstein is guilty of that sexual assault and they had dropped it, well, again, we don't necessarily know that, and he was let off thanks to the promises of possible donations, then that would make Cyrus Vance an incredibly corrupt DA. I mean, from what it looks like, and again, this is just my perception of the deal. I'm not necessarily saying he did it. That's for the courts to go and litigate. And it seems like they didn't get a chance to. But from what it seems like, is that all you need to do is bribe the guy, and you can get away with not only fraud, but possibly sexual harassment and assault. Assuming all this is, again, true. But look, this could be a terrible coincidence, or he could be corrupt as fuck, or there's a third thing, the system itself is incredibly corrupt. Now, I know for a fact that the system itself is corrupt, but as far as whether or not Cyrus Vance Jr. is corrupt, or if this is just incredibly bad timing, I don't know. But either way, it looks really bad for him. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.